Hey, Queens! It's your girl Daylight. Welcome to Empowering Her with Monica. So, it's been a while, but I'm back and I have an important topic that we need to talk about. So, our topic for today is boundaries. Yes, let's get into it. So, it's important for me that you realize that your self worth is defined by you. I want you to understand how important boundaries are in any relationship. And I want you to recognize that boundaries or relationships without boundaries often lead to abusive relationships. So, let's get into it. So, the first thing I want to talk about is your self worth. Your thoughts and feelings about you determine your self worth. You show people how much you're worth. The things that you say about you, the things that you do, how you carry yourself, shows people your self worth. Okay? Your self worth determines how other people will think of you and treat you. Let's rewind that, back it up. So, wait a minute. My self worth that I define by how I think and how I behave dictates how other people think about me. Ding, 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 ding. You're right. That would be correct. That's important that we remember that. So now, how is your self-worth revealed? Glad you asked. It's revealed in your behavior. Are you loud and out of control? Are you calm and quiet and polite? Are you cursing and have violent outbursts? Or do you respond appropriately to any situation? Now, I'm not saying you can't get upset. I'm not saying you can't get mad because we all go there. But what I am saying is if this is just your normal behavior, yeah, that's a problem. And we need to check that. Cheating and lying tells people how much you're worth. Or are you honest and trustworthy? Are you posting inappropriate pictures on social media? Are you sending inappropriate pictures to other people? Not just of you, but maybe of other people. Your self-worth is revealed in your personal boundaries and behavior. Let me say that again. Your self-worth is revealed in your personal boundaries and your behavior. Nobody can tell you how much you're worth. You decide that. Okay, so Queen, what are boundaries? Okay, let me tell you. Boundaries are rules that you set for yourself and for other people that you're in relationship with. That's it. Its boundaries are you making a note and making people aware of what you will and won't do. What you will tolerate, what you won't tolerate. Places you will go, places you won't go. That's it. It's not hard. It's not rocket science. Boundaries allow every person to maintain their needs, their space, their individuality, their health, and their peace of mind. Oh, honey, let me tell you, my peace of mind is worth everything. So I got boundaries in place because I'm protecting my peace of mind. I don't do stress. I don't do drama. So now, if that's you, and whether you're a friend, coworker, whatever, yeah, I can't do you. So we're gonna exit stage left. I'm not putting up with that. That's my boundary. I'm cutting you off. Good morning. Hey, how you doing? And I'm gonna keep it moving. Boundaries are how you protect you. Now, there was a time I didn't have boundaries. And it wasn't that I was just out here being all raggedy and doing anything and everything. No, that's not the case. My boundaries weren't defined. I knew what I wanted. I knew in my mind, I had an idea of what I was expecting, but I never verbalized it to people I was in relationship with. And I paid a cost for that. And let me just tell you, it was a high cost. But I learned the lesson. So I have boundaries for every relationship. I know when I need to leave a room. I know when I need to, okay, yeah, this ain't working out for me. And everybody needs that. You got to protect you. How do you set boundaries? You got to know what makes you feel uncomfortable, what makes you angry, frustrates you, or hurts you. You got to know you. And some of us have triggers or things that, kind of make us not feel good. And we, we teeter-tottering on, we about to go off. You got to know what those are. You got to know how those things make you feel. And if you're in relationship with somebody, you have to let them know. Because if they don't know what your boundaries are, then how is this relationship going to work? How is it going to move? Decide what you'll do in a situation before a situation arises. Anything can happen. So, if you're at a party and some things pop off and you're feeling uncomfortable, then when you start to feel uncomfortable, what are you going to do? How do you handle that for you? Are you going to leave the room? You just going to stay there and be uncomfortable? Are you going to, if you're with someone and they don't want to leave, but you do, are you going to make a phone call and get another ride home? What you going to do? Make a plan. Have a backup plan. You always got to have a plan. And you always have to protect your boundaries. You got to make people you're in relationship with aware of your boundaries. You got to. They need to know that I don't do drugs. I'm not smoking with you. I'm not going here. I'm not going there. I don't do this. I don't like that. You can't get in my face. Don't touch me. You have to make people aware. Because if you allow people to do things and you don't say anything, guess what? They think it's okay. And they're going to keep doing it. And so I have seen many relationships go bad because Boundaries weren't defined. And then she got tired of something or he got tired of something. And then when you finally said something, well, we're a year into it and I've been doing this since we started. Why all of a sudden now you don't like it? Because you just let it roll. You let it slide. You didn't say anything. Protect your boundaries. When you're setting boundaries for other people, you got to know what you want. Do you want to be respected, or is it okay for them to disrespect you? Can they call you out your name, or do they need to call you by your name? Do they need to be polite, or are you okay with them being rude to you? Do you want them to care for you and love you, or you okay with mean and hateful? What do you want? How do you want to be treated? Okay, so now let me pause for this public service announcement. Boundaries are non-negotiable. Let me say that again. Boundaries are non-negotiable. No, we ain't talking about it. No, I meant what I said. No, I'm not going. You can't talk me into it. No, it's not up for discussion. These are my boundaries. This is what I expect. That's it. That's it. No, we're not talking about it. It's not. Boundaries are needed for a relationship to be healthy. Every healthy relationship needs boundaries. Boundaries need to be in place before the relationship starts. Don't wait till you 6 months into it, a year into it, and then you decide, yeah, I don't like that. Actually, I don't care for that when you do that. But they've been doing it the whole time. And I promise you, that's going to lead to more arguments than a little bit. That's going to be a big, big, big argument for you and your partner because you have now decided you don't like something they've been doing for 6 months when you should have said something the first time they did it. Boundaries need to be discussed, whether it be with your family, whether it be with friends, your significant other. And recognize that your boundaries for your mother is going to be different from the boundaries that you have with your friends and your intimate partner in most cases. Because for for most mothers, they can say things to us that other people can't say to us. The boundaries you have for your significant other will not be the same boundaries that you have for your best friend. Some may be, respect. Yeah. Don't call me out my name. Don't yell at me. Don't cuss me. Yeah, those may be the same. But now you also gonna have boundaries for him where, okay, no stepping out of this relationship. Whereas your best friend, she gonna have other friends. When your boundaries are not protected, or there are no boundaries, then your safety is now an issue. You're leaving yourself open. Boundaries are in place to protect you. That's all it is. It's protecting you. Relationships without boundaries can be challenging. They can be very dramatic. Expectations are not clear because you didn't talk. You haven't defined your relationship. You assumed that they weren't seeing anybody else. You can't assume. You need to talk about it. You need to define it. What does this mean? Where are we going? What we headed? All of that. Queens, we often lose ourselves in relationships. And when I say lose ourselves, I mean we spend more time caring for them and loving them than we do for caring and loving ourselves. We as mothers are guilty of this. We do it with our families, we do it with our kids. It's very easy to do. And I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, but when them scales not balanced, that's a problem. Your partner needs to be putting in just as much as they taking out. And relationships without boundaries, oftentimes the relationship tends to be one-sided. One person is more in control than the other person. One person may be making the decision for the relationship. One person may be making, they deciding where we going, what we doing, what we wearing, what we spending. Boundaries, they're easily crossed. They're easily it's not a lot of hard work. It's not hard to set up boundaries, but they need to be set up before you get into a relationship. Mahatma Gandhi said that they cannot take away our self-respect if we do not give it to them. I agree with that. If you don't have boundaries, you make it easy for people to disrespect you and take your self-respect from you. Please set boundaries for yourself and for others. If you need some help with that, I'm your girl. Hit me up. Thank you for joining me for another episode of Empowering Her with Monica.